have been procrastinating this video since last week because I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm not a fan of this story. And there's a very personal reason why I don't like this story. And I am very much arachnophobic, so I don't love it. It's about spiders, and it just makes me feel creepy. And so I've just been avoiding it. It's been on my to-do list all week and last week, actually, and I just never did it. So here we are, 2 weeks late. But let's talk about Lazy Anansi. All right, so for Bellringers, we are going to read it, and then we'll look at the questions. Actually, since this is not a poem, I want to read the question, and then I'll look for the answer in the passage. Let's switch it up a little bit. What is the main theme of the fable? So we're looking for a theme. What is the overarching message? And we're also looking for my computer not to freeze. Thank you. Very good. Okay, now what is the best summary of the fable? So we're looking for a theme and a summary. That should be pretty easy. Okay. And then how does paragraph 8 provide a conclusion for the fable? Okay, those sound like things we can figure out. There was a spider called Anansi. Anansi was too lazy to cook his own food. Instead, he used to visit his friends and eat the delicious food they had cooked. One day, Anansi was passing Rabbit's house when he smelled green vegetables cooking. He was very excited. Rabbit said to Anansi, "They're not quite ready yet. You can help me to wash up while we wait." Anansi replied, "Sorry, I have things to do. I'll come back later." "How will I call you when they're ready?" asked Rabbit. Anansi thought for a minute. "I'll spin a web," he said. "I'll tie one end around my leg and one to your pot. When the greens are ready, pull on that string. I'll come right away." So Anansi tied the web to the pot and walked on. Anansi saw Monkey and his wife cooking his beans in a large pot. "Come on, join us. The beans are nearly ready," Monkey said. And Anansi replied, "Sorry, I have things to do. Let me tie one end of the web around the leg and one end to your pot. When the beans are ready, pull on the string and I'll come." As Anansi walked by the warthog's house, he smelled sweet potatoes. Warthog told Anansi, "My pot is full of sweet potatoes and honey. Come share my food with me. Take this fork and help me stir it." Anansi replied, "I'll come back later. Tie one end of this web around my leg and one end to your pot. When the sweet potatoes are ready, pull on the string and I'll come." By the time Anansi arrived at the river, each of his 8 legs were tied to a pot of delicious food. Then Anansi felt a pull at one of his legs. "Rabbit's food is ready," he thought, licking his lips. He felt a second pull, and a third, and a fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. Everyone was pulling on the strings at the same time. "Stop!" he cried in pain, and his legs were stretched thinner and thinner, but no one could hear him. Finally, the web strings could hold no longer. They snapped one by one. Anansi rolled into the river to soothe his painful legs, but his legs would not return to their normal shape. Anansi was too embarrassed to go to any of his friends that day. All right, so that is the story of Anansi the spider and his woes. So let's look at it. What is our main theme of the fable? All right, so what's our main theme? People who are lazy don't get to benefit from other people's hard work. I think that's a real possibility. First of all, because it's got the word lazy in it, and we know that's the title, so that seems possible. And then the problem was Anansi kept saying, no, he won't stir, he won't do this, he won't help clean up, so he refused to do the work. And so he ended up not getting any food because he was lazy. So I think that's possible. We're going to leave that. Sometimes people take advantage of the kindness of their friends. I think that's a possibility too, because Anansi was definitely trying to take advantage of his friends. Sharing food with others is a good way to show that you care. That's true, but is that what the story is really pointing to? No, this is not right. So we're going to go ahead and mark this one out if my computer will work. All right, people are less likely to share with you if you don't help them in some way. That one I think is possible, but it's just not quite what they're looking for. They're not really trying to say, that's not the message they're trying to give. They're trying to say, if you're lazy, you're not going to get what, the answer is A, folks. If you're lazy, you're not going to get to benefit from someone else's hard work. All right, which is the best summary of the fable? So a summary just looks at it, figures out the main things, right? So a spider's friends work together to punish their lazy friend who never helps them. I don't think it was intentional, so I'm going to go ahead and say no. A spider's legs are stretched out when he's too lazy to help his friends prepare food. That sounds like a possibility. I bit my tongue. A spider doesn't know how to cook for himself, but his friends are there to help him out. That's not at all what happens. A spider is embarrassed when all of his friends invite him to dinner at once. That's not what happens. It's B, as in boy. All right, and so then we're going to look at how does the last paragraph, paragraph 8, provide a conclusion for the fable. So finally, the web strings could hold no longer. They snapped one by one. Anansi rolled into the river to soothe his painful legs, but his legs would not return to their normal shape. Anansi was too embarrassed to go to any of his friends that day. It reveals that Anansi's friends never planned to let him eat their food without working. It shows how Anansi suffers his consequences for not helping his friends prepare food. It stresses how important for Anansi is to learn to make and catch his own food, or it shows how Anansi is to blame for what all spiders are ugly. Okay, that's not it. That right there is a wrong. All right, it reveals that Anansi's friends never planned it. No, that's not it. The friends were not trying to not give him food. That's not what happened. Or it stresses how important it is for Anansi to, it's not doing that. It's not really talking about it's you need to do this and you need to do that. It is showing the consequences he suffers for not being helpful, for being so lazy. All right, so that is a really quick analysis of Anansi, and I think it's actually a very important story because we can learn a lot from it. So whatever you take away from this, know that we are all like Anansi. If I don't do what I need to do, then I will not get the reward, right? All right, kiddos, have a great weekend. Be safe, and I will see you Monday morning. Bye-bye.